welcome back. Some really positive news coming out from Annovis. Their phase 2 trial of an Alzheimer's treatment shows a reversal of the disease. We're joined now by Maria Maccecchini, Annovis's CEO. So Maria, as I was just mentioning, I had been reading that, there was the reversal of Alzheimer's and other reports. It looked like a serious reversal towards baseline in patients with mild to moderate Alzheimer's. I'm just curious if you can just give us a brief readout on the results that you guys got. I know in the break you were mentioning that these results were even surprising to you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. And I'm so proud to be here and be able to say that finally it looks like we may have something that gives hope to people. So yes, we only did a small study and it only lasted a month. And the best we would hope for is that maybe there wasn't that much of a difference or just a slight improvement. What we saw is a 30% improvement in cognition in Alzheimer patients and in motor function in Parkinson's patients. So in both patient populations, we saw a 20 to 30% improvement in whatever we were measuring, one by UPDRS, which is the Parkinson's scale, and one by ADAS-Cog, which is the Alzheimer's scale.
It certainly is encouraging news in the fight against Alzheimer's. But for folks who don't follow the biotech industry closely, what is the next step here for this drug, and how long might it be before we really see it used, for the wider population?
Well, of course, the regulatory pathway is long, which is good because you do not want to give something to patients that doesn't work or could have negative effects. So this was a phase 2 study, a double phase 2, Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. And we haven't quite finished yet. We still have some patients to treat because we wanted to expand the number of patients we are treating. So it should be fully done in summer. And then we'll go to the FDA, we'll present the data, and we'll ask to go into phase 3. Phase 3 are much larger studies that last much longer. So more people, longer time, and then we should see full efficacy. If everything goes well, a study cannot really last much, it cannot be shorter than 2 to 3 years in Alzheimer's and Parkinson's because the decay is so slow and you want to prevent it and show that over time you have an improvement or no change. So I would think that with a lot of luck, we'll be on the market in 24.
Curious, Maria, because I think this past year has really changed a lot of folks' minds, at least when you go from research and development to a drug actually hitting the market, as we have the coronavirus vaccine essentially done in a year and now going already into people's arms. I hear what you're saying, that you think that this treatment might be more readily available by 2024. I'm curious to know if there was any differences because of the pandemic in terms of changing speed as you guys are moving forward in these studies and trials.
Well, I wish I could say yes. I would take the pandemic and use it. No, not really. But the reason is, what are you checking? If you give a vaccine, you're looking if the people are protected in the next few months. Right now, they're looking if they're protected after a year because the vaccine has been out for that long. In Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, you have to look what happens to the trajectory of the disease over time. Because what if it improves cognition in the first 3 months and then it drops it? So it is by definition a much slower study, and it really cannot be sped up too much. I mean, the best way to speed it up is add more people, which means it takes a little bit more money, but you have a faster readout. But I don't think we can have a decent readout under less than 1 year, no matter what we do.
Maria, you saw the market reaction to this positive news. It was pretty incredible to watch. Shares of Annovis jumping from $24 to $60 a share last week. And I know you had a previously announced $50 million public stock offering, which I believe just closed. So good timing there for Annovis. What are you going to do with the money raised from that stock sale?
We're going to do a lot of things because we were very virtual. So when you're virtual, you really don't have many people. You work with consultants mostly. So we're going to, increase our staffing. We need a medical doctor really badly for phase 3. But most and foremost, this money is going to be used to do one of the 2 phase 3 studies we want to do. So we want to do one in Alzheimer's, one in Parkinson's. The money will be enough for one of the 2 phase 3s. That to me is the most important part, because I do want to bring this drug to the patients.
Looking beyond Alzheimer's, is there anything else right now that is receiving a bit of attention from Annovis? Other diseases that perhaps you guys are interested in exploring treatment for?
We have a plethora of diseases we could attack because our drug is not specific for Alzheimer's. Our drug protects nerve cells from dying. And in sick nerve cells, it increases the information highway. So let me explain. When you do anything, the information has to go from your brain to the fingers, and from the fingers back to the brain, or from your brain to the eyes or to your tongue, or whatever you do. Your brain has to know what you do, and your body has to give the information back. When a cell gets sick, that information highway slows down. It gets sluggish. And our drug improves it. Now, long term, when a cell is sluggish for a long time, it eventually dies. And our drug prevents that, because the cell doesn't get sluggish, it does not die. We have shown that in 7 different animal models, so I'm sure it works in animals. In humans, I have to do much longer term studies to be sure about that. But basically, what is really important is that our drug, long term, should stop the disease.
Just going back to the fundamentals of the company right now, you became a public company not long ago. Like many biopharma companies, you're not yet profitable. Well, what is the cash burn rate look like at the company right now? And are you looking to raise any more money? I mean, I know you just closed this recent round, selling more stock to the public, but anything else you're considering in the short term?
Well, our cash burn is very bumpy depending on our clinical trials. So right now it's kind of low because the the 2 phase 2s are almost going towards the end, so they don't cost much anymore. Once we start phase 3, we expect the cash burn to really ramp up. But as I said, we have enough for 2 years and 1 clinical study. If or when we want to start the second clinical study, we have to raise some additional money. And we think that that may be a little bit more than $50 million, but that should get us through 2 clinical studies, yes.
All right, Maria Maccecchini, CEO of Annovis, thanks for the great work you're doing there, and enjoy the weekend.